Thanks for deciding to catch In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And right now, it's going to be James Casey, Part 2, Bengals tight end coach. We're going to talk all about his position group, the offense, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, the running game, how much better the offense can be, what's the potential for the Cincinnati Bengals, all that good stuff. He covers it all. I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and the magical season last year, the run to the Super Bowl. It was, boy, this football team at the end of November, 7-6, caught fire at the exact right time and won a bunch of football games down the stretch, including 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. What was it like? What was it like being part of a football team that just caught fire at the right time?
I mean, it was extremely just amazing opportunity for me to be involved with that, to see it kind of go from year 1, year 2 to year 3, to see the people we brought in, the players we brought in, some of the coaches we brought in, and just the belief that Zach always had, and just never wavering, not showing any insecurity, not showing any tendency for most coaches in those scenarios when we're not doing well is to yell, scream, call people out. Like, he just stayed the same guy. And the players see that, and they see it, and it resonates with them, of the confidence and the belief in all the players. And yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a run this year in the playoffs, and then just keep winning. But we had a sense early on, even me as a young coach, it's beautiful to see just the players that we had there, that they all cared, they all worked hard, they all did it the right way. Like, there was no prima donna. We didn't have any prima donna guys. We had guys that worked hard, that wanted to win, that would do extra. And the same way in our coaching staff, like, Zach hired a bunch of great people that want to win. They're all smart guys. There's no fluff to it. It's all business. It's not, we're all about our job. And when it all comes together like that, it's just amazing to see, because it's so hard to do. And now, even more motivated after seeing how it can happen, even more motivated this year and the coming years of getting back there and winning the whole thing. But also understanding how hard it was to do that, and how much work's got to go into it, from starting in the offseason, OTAs, but also, training camp starting up soon. Right when that first day starts, I mean, it's got to be everybody's got to be on the same page, and everybody's going to be working towards the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, wiping that slate clean, like you said, it's that year was great, but there's no carryover there. You have to earn it again, and now you're the hunted, not the hunter. As people talk about, it's a different kind of a little bit of a different dynamic. But seeing how young this football team is and how they all responded to each other and to the coaching staff, I'll tell you, I'm really excited about what this team, the future of this football team for quite a while, really. And when you look at it, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think how many teams in the NFL you're on the coaching staff for the entire duration, head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator for the 4th straight year. There's not a whole lot of NFL teams that have that consistency and continuity, and then permeates through the rest of the coaching staff. You guys have really, stayed together and really turned the thing around. There's no question.
It's a huge advantage. I mean, and credit to Mr. Brown for sticking with Zach and everybody, and just trusting that he hired the right guy, and that we can get the job done. And because now when we're in staff meetings, or we're installing game plans, or we're going through our offense installs for early training camp, it's, we have especially offensively, we have the same guys there. We all trust each other, and Zach and Brian, the offensive coordinator, they trust that we know what we're doing. We've been there, we've seen it, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on the little, the little stuff. We can start talking about big picture things, and same thing when we're coaching the players. We understand the base plays, and we know what they're all called and what they mean and why they mean that. So me as a coach, I never want to be a coach that's just strictly coaching the playbook. These guys are professionals, especially tight ends. They're going to learn the playbook. They're smart guys. They work hard. I want to coach them on the understanding of why we're doing certain things, and what the defense is doing, and the mindset stuff that it takes to be really good, the confidence that it takes, the being so then the extra little effort that you need to play with to be good. It's real small details of, if you're, sometimes you think you're playing hard, but you got way more in there, and trying to get that more out of them that they don't even know is in there, where they think they're playing 100%, but they got more that they can do. Right. And sometimes other people got to bring that out of them, and now they'll play even better, and they'll realize, I had that as me as a player, my rookie year, we were doing goal line period, in Houston and I was playing fullback I've never done before. I mean, I'm trying hard. Like, of course, I've always worked hard. I'm trying hard. And the head coach, Coach Kubiak, just comes up to me and says, James, I know you think you're playing hard and you're doing everything right, but it's not good enough. Like, you're not going to be able to make it. And so, like, epiphany, like the next play, I'm playing harder. I'm playing with more aggression, more finish. And to my mind, I'm like, well, like, why in the hell wasn't I do that in the first place? Like, why wasn't I playing with that intensity, that level of effort from the very beginning? And I thought I was. So I was thinking I was going 100%, but I had more in me. And that's one of the main things I'm trying to get across to the tight ends is like, there's more in you than what you think you have.
Let's talk about the tight end position specifically. CJ Uzomah, you were a big factor in the development of CJ Uzomah. He had a great year last year, huge, both on the field and off the field, in the locker room, the leadership aspect of it. How tough will it be to replace what CJ Uzomah provided for you last year?
It's tough. I mean, it's big when you lose a guy that's which was as talented as he was and as hard as he played, but also all the stuff he did off the field. And that's the real business aspect of professional sports is I was with him for 3 years and I loved him, coached my butt off with him. And he was great for me too, like just being receptive and working hard and doing everything right. Yep. And he got an opportunity to go somewhere else and make a lot of money. And, it's not like I'm mad at him, like great for him. That's all, it's awesome. That's the objective is to make a lot of money. I wish he would have been here, but now it's moving on. Now he's not on our team. So we got, Drew Sample's going in year 4. I'm very excited about him. And I know he doesn't get a lot of attention because he doesn't catch a bunch of passes, but some of the things he does in the run game and the pass protection goes unnoticed. And he's the type of guy, he doesn't need it to be noticed, but a lot of the tight ends, what we do is the dirty work stuff that we may not catch a bunch of passes. We have Jamar Chase and Higgins and TB, and we have a lot of great receivers and Joe Mixon. Like, they may not be getting us the ball a bunch, but we need to make sure we're doing our job in the run game so we can get those big runs in the pass protection so Burrow can sit back there and throw it to Jamar. And then when we do get our chance in the pass game, we got to take advantage of it. And that way the normal, the fans that may not be watching the details of everything, we got to catch some passes too so they know us a little bit. We got to make some plays for the offense. We got to make those. Really with Samples, it's just being ready for your opportunity and then making those contested catches and, making a name for yourself, getting that confidence in year 4, which, just like offense line, it takes a while to get that confidence, to get the understanding of how it's got to be good. And that just that determination to make the play. And then signing Hayden Hurst was, I'm real excited about him. He's kind of gotten a little bit of run of bad luck with first round picks. So he's obviously got the talent. Went to Baltimore and Mark Andrews took off. Then he went to Atlanta, had a good year. And then they drafted Kyle Pitts 4th overall. So he kind of, sometimes it's just, ability is nothing without opportunity. So just trying to give him that opportunity to go out there and prove himself that he can play and help him with whatever way I can with giving tools as a blocker, as a pass catcher, and getting the comfort level with Burrow and just seeing what he can do this year. I know he's motivated and he's working hard and he's a great guy and he does everything right. So real excited about what he's going to do this year.
Well, he's a guy that can really run. I mean, his size speed ratio is can be eye catching. Comes into the league as a first round pick. So potential mismatches have to be intriguing, utilizing him. But it does all start with his ability to put his hand in the dirt and block at the end of the line of scrimmage like CJ did for you, right?
Absolutely. It always starts there with the, your style of offense. Everybody falls in love with Travis Kelce and Darren Waller and Zach Ertz and the guys that catch and Kyle Pitts, the guys that catch all the passes. But that's only certain offenses. And you got to scheme for those guys to get those opportunities. Like Kelsey's, he's basically a wide receiver a lot of times, and they're scheming routes for him and concepts for him. And we have a lot of good receivers, and the way our offense is built, just with Zach and Brian and Frank Pollock, like that's not really our style right now. So we got to do all the dirty work and then get the opportunities when they give it to us. But it does add a huge advantage to us having a guy like Hayden who is a mismatch guy. So now they got one more thing they got to worry about. If we put him, in a 1-by-3 formation by himself, they got to make a decision if they're going to keep the corner over there or play in with the safety or play zone. And if they roll the safety down to our speed receivers, now he's got more, voids in the zones to catch passes.
What about Mitchell Wilcox and other guys from a depth perspective, Coach? How excited are you about some of these guys taking another step in their professional careers and step to another level? Really
excited about Mitchell and we got Mitchell Wilcox who played last year on special teams. Thaddeus Moss he's been here. He's working hard. He's kind of had a run of bad luck with some injuries and stuff, but he's a son of Randy Moss, but he is extremely detailed, works really hard, tough guy. You get, Randy was a receiver. He's a tight end. He's a Dad's like a true tight end, tough, smart, all that stuff. And then we got Scotty Washington, who's converting from receiver to tight end, so he's got a lot to learn, but see what he can do out there. And we signed Nick Eubanks, who's going into his second year, kind of had the first year struggles that everybody has, and see what he can do. And then Justin Rigg, we signed as a undrafted free agent this year from Kentucky, who's been a kind of part of this offense and is a bigger guy that can block. But it's different when you get in the NFL. So some of it's unknown with some of the younger guys about what they can do because they haven't gone out there and shown it, so they got to go prove it. So, but really excited for guys like Mitchell and Thad that, they've been working their tail off. They've been here a couple of years, and Mitchell, played all year on special teams and then didn't get a lot on offense because CJ and Drew were doing well. And now he's, he needs to take that step and get that confidence and get the coaches to trust that he knows what he's doing. He's doing everything right on offense, and he's still a good special teams player. But I'm extremely proud of Mitchell. Like he didn't get a lot of opportunities on offense, and he played 18 offensive snaps in the AFC Championship game, and we were able to win that game and get to the Super Bowl. And so he was. You may not know, just a great example of you never know when that opportunity is coming. You go all year and you may play like 18 total snaps, and then you go in this AFC Championship game and you're playing 18 snaps that game. So it's always being ready. And so those other guys, besides Drew and Hayden, they all got tremendous opportunities, and that's what training camp's for in the preseason. They're going to go out there and keep getting better and go show what they can do in practice, and then go show what they can do in preseason games, and then it all kind of settles itself out. And I tell them all the time, like, I'm just a tight ends coach, so I'm trying to help you guys as much as I can, but it's end of the day, it's the NFL. You got to produce. You got to go out there and show production and show value, and you got to go prove it.
You got Jonah Williams and Collins at the tackle spots. Haven't really worked with Collins yet, but tight end, tackle, working together at the end of the line of scrimmage is key, is significant. How excited are you to have your tight ends working with those two behemoths?
Yeah, it's always a huge advantage for a tight end when he's on the front side of zone or any gap scheme stuff. A lot of times you are working with the tackle, and if you have a great tackle, it helps the tight end a lot. And there's a lot of nuance into all that blocking stuff, which you live for a long time, but your angles and how you fit certain combination blocks and what kind of hand placement you have in your footwork. So we do a really good job with Frank Pollock of getting with the tackles and tight ends together during practice and kind of getting comfortable with each other on your footwork and your angles, and trusting that tackle is going to be there, and that tackle trusting that the tight end is going to be there. But when you got a guy like Jonah and Lyle, like it makes it a lot easier where you not only trust he's going to be there, but if he gets a good shot on him, he might help you dump the guy, so you can really be dominant as a blocker.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, last year, like you mentioned, the Bengals have a trio of wide receivers that I think are as good as anybody's, top three receivers in the National Football League. But CJ did get some opportunity to make big plays. And when opportunity knocked, man, he answered, whether it be tight end screens, busting them for big yards, or, plays down the football field. I mean, he was a factor down the football field, stretching that football field down the middle. It's going to be exciting to see the tight ends because there is going to be some opportunity. I mean, defensively, can't cover everybody, man. There's going to be some shots out there for your group for sure.
Yeah, it's real exciting for me as a coach and for them. They understand. They're smart guys. They understand that our receivers are so good, and if we got Jamar to our side, the defense is going to have to make some decisions where they may cloud it and play cover two and put a safety over the top of the corner. So when they do that and we're in 2x2, that means that the tight end is really matched up on that Sam linebacker. So he's got that Sam linebacker's got a lot of grass to cover, and also the most confidence is just our quarterback with how smart Burrow is and how disciplined he is and how the killer instinct that he has. Like, we obviously know he's trying to get the ball to Jamar and T and TB and Joe Mixon, but he's also wants to win more than anything. So if defense is going to dictate that the ball should be going to us, like, he's going to get it to us. And now we just got to make the play. We got to be competitive and get him to trust us to when that opportunity is there for him to, the coverage dictates that he should throw it to the tight end. He needs to get it to Burrow where he trusts that he's going to throw it to us, and we're going to not only catch it, but we're going to get a bunch of yards. And we're going to always be ready and always be in the right spot.
Does Joe Burrow remind you, Coach, of anybody that you've either played with or have been on a coaching staff at the quarterback position, or is he kind of unique unto himself?
He's unique to me. I mean, I haven't been as a player and as a coach. It's not like I'm really super old and have a ton of experience, but all the guys that I've seen, he's got all the intangibles that he doesn't let anything affect him. He's all football. He wants to hold guys accountable in the right way. He's unbelievably confident. Like, he's never shaken. And even as a coach, like when I look at him on sidelines, I'm like, well, heck, I mean, I know he's not nervous, so I know the whole team is not going to be nervous just looking at him and how confident he is. And I mean, I played with Peyton Manning for just a little bit, and just seeing the detail that he went through. And, you know, of course, there's a reason. It's not like Tom Brady, you know, is the greatest of all time. It's not. There's a reason why those guys are so great. It's not that they throw the ball so much better than everybody else. It's just because the way they work, the way they hold guys accountable, how tough they are, even as a quarterback, how disciplined they are, how much they work, how smart they are. Those things are what makes them really good. And Burrow's got all that. And now I have all the confidence in the world in our quarterback. Everybody does. And so from my perspective as a tight end coach, I'm trying to help Burrow, help the other coaches. I can make sure the tight ends are doing everything we possibly can to help him and to be successful. Because when you got a guy like that, it just motivates everybody else around you.
Yeah,
around him.
There's no question, Coach. And I'm excited. I mean, you know, the addressing the offensive line and free agency and getting the players that are able to get. I mean, to me, it seems like there's going to be an opportunity to attack areas of the football field that necessarily couldn't be attacked last year, and maybe attack them in a different way, or attack areas that didn't get necessarily attacked or neglected a little bit. I just think the upside for this offense is still there. I mean, I don't think it's peaked by any stretch. Do you?
Not at all. And deep down in my heart, I'm always thinking run first, you know, run the football. And as from what I did as a player and from what my job is now, coaching the tight ends, because that's a lot of what we do is blocking in the run game and pass protection. So I'm most excited about just running the football and taking pressure off of Burrow, and just because Mixon is one of the best in the league, and just he's had great years, but I'm really, you know, excited to see him just take off and just have like one of those unbelievable years. And the offensive line tight ends like just blocking their tail off to help him and taking the pressure off of Burrow and like really getting, you know, having a great season just running the football. And obviously that opens up everything. Now we can have the big play action shots and the break contain keepers, and makes your offense so much easier if you don't have to just drop back pass all the time, which we're great at that too, because we got Burrow. So we got to kind of, you know, we got a mix of all the worlds. So we got a good problems to have, but I'm all about like running the football because that's what we do a lot. And then the pass game stuff will come there. That's just based off of the coverages but the run game stuff, if we can handle these defensive ends that are so good around the NFL. If we can be better than all the other tight ends in the NFL, we can have another special year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if Joe Mixon is making his first cut beyond the line of scrimmage instead of behind or at the line of scrimmage, and man, you're getting favorable down and distances as a result of that, man, could be off the charts.
It's tough to stop. That's why, you know, with Frank Pollock being our run game, you know, guy, he's, you know, the under center wide zone. I mean, if everybody's got their angles and their targets and they're moving guys, it's hard to stop because he can run, he can hit the ball front side, back side, anywhere. And as tight end, we're always at the point of attack. We never know where the ball's going. Like, you always got to assume that the ball's running right behind you. So, you know, if we're all on the same page and Mixon's making the right decisions, we're going to be tough in the run game.
No doubt. Coach, you're a special man, and the Bengals are very fortunate to have you on their staff. And best of luck all season long. Go get them.
Thank you, Dave. I'll see you around the locker room soon.
Yes, sir.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right. You know,
gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.
Our 1 million YouTube view giveaways contest, courtesy First Star Logistics, continues with a special contest that runs until August 7th, 9 o'clock. So you have plenty of time, but don't procrastinate. Don't wait, because prizes include 2 tickets to a Cincinnati Reds game in the Boone County Bourbon Room with Dave Lapham. That would be me. 2 tickets to Cincinnati Reds game in the Boone County Bourbon Club with a celebrity to be determined later. And I know you're going to like that. It's big time. A signed Dave Lapham jersey, First Star Logistics custom backpack filled with apparel and gear, a $300 value, very nice prize, 2 $50 gas cards. Want the price of gas today? Nice. To enter, just go to the link and description below or scan the QR code.